Hey friends, it's Amy here. I'm going to show you how to do this really cute yarn stitch to make these really cute letterings. For this, I'm going to use this yarn that I found at Joann's. Comes in lots of different colors, and it's actually really perfect weight for this. And we will be using Designs by Juju's vintage script. It's just a simple bean stitch, and it worked pretty well for this. So I've got a pile of yarn. Let's go to the machine. Okay, so here we are. We have the design pulled up on the machine, and I just have it as one stitch, and I have the color of yarn to the color of thread to match the yarn that we're using, and I just cut off a little chunk of it and brought it with me. So the first thing we're going to do is just stitch this out, which takes, it says 5 minutes, so we will just stitch it. Of course, if you are putting this on a shirt, you want to make sure that it's, you know, centered and all that fun things. I'm just doing it on a stabilizer for right now. Oh, it didn't catch. So I'm just doing it on stabilizer for now. So let me stitch that out, and then we'll move to the next step. Okay, that was a quick 5 minutes, right? Okay, it's stitched out one time on here. My design is still here, and it says raised pressure foot, which we're just gonna ignore. And one thing I will tell you is that I took and lowered my speed to as slow as I could make it. I guess as you got better at this, you can raise the speed up, but just for me, it was just best to slow it down. So here it is, and it's already stitched out one time. So this time, this is going to be the track to where I lay the yarn. So I'm just going to push start one more time to line it up where it's going to start. I'm going to push pause again and lift up my presser foot and take the yarn. Okay, so I have my presser foot raised. I'm going to take the yarn and put it on top. I'm going to overlap it a little bit so that it doesn't start right where it does, because I did that before and it kind of ate the yarn and it wasn't good. So I'm just going to start a little bit further back, and I'll trim that off when it's done. When I do this, I make sure the yarn's kind of in the middle as I can when I lower the presser foot, so you can kind of see. I've been using my pin for the thing to kind of help me move this around, but as soon as I get it situated, I'm going to push the presser foot down, and I'm going to push the start button. And as it stitches, I'm going to try and make the yarn stay right in the middle, and then I'll push pause every little bit and just kind of adjust where it needs to be adjusted, and push the yarn where it needs to go, basically. Make sure you get it. You can see that the presser foot's going right over the middle of the yarn. That's kind of what we want. And here we're coming to a curve, so I push pause so I can readjust the yarn. And I want to push it up a little bit so that make sure that it's going to get a good. And every time we go to a curve, I push the pause button. Just for me, it's safety, but as soon as you get better at this, of course, it'll go a lot faster. I'm going to trim off this yarn a bit so that it'll be easier for me to sling basically around so that it'll stitch it. But the L's gonna curve, so we're gonna kind of use that bean stitch as a guide to go through there again. A couple things real quick about this is that as I was practicing this a couple of times, the yarn, it would, the stitch would go kind of close to the edge, and then as I was pushing it back, it would kind of overlap. And that's definitely not something you want, because it's going to mess up how it actually stitches. It'll pull it and all that. So what you want to do is keep it to the middle, and if it's not in the middle, just stop it, you know, cut it, cut the thread, and then just go back a couple stitches and realign it and redo it. And the more often you do this, the easier it'll get. But okay, we're going to finish stitching this L. Again, I'm just using the stitch that's already there to use this to put the yarn on top of, trying to keep it right in the middle of the presser foot. I mean, if it doesn't stay right in the middle of the presser foot, it's really not that detrimental, but right there, see, it was starting to go towards the edge, so I'm going to push pause and just kind of push it underneath and make sure that we're not going to go off the edge anywhere. Okay. Going towards the edge, so I just want to make sure we're pushing that out, make sure we get all the, it's stitched down really good. Because I joined all my colors, it's going to automatically go to the next letter, but I'm going to push pause right here for a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm going to grab my scissors and trim this right where it ends. And it'll fray a little bit, but I don't know. But other than that, after you trim it, it looks really good. And then I'm going to trim the top. And there's the letter L. There is, thank you, buddy. There is the letter L, and you'll just continue to do that. I stopped in between each letter and raised my presser foot to put the yarn underneath, and then continued to stitch. And the outcome was this. This was the outcome. It turned out really cute. I wish I would have spaced my V and my I a little bit more. You can see on the program that I did space it a little bit, but I wish I would have done a little bit more. And also on the eyes, this eye, I used a piece of yarn and tried to make it into a circle. And on this eye, I just put it down and let it do a circle on it. They're both cute, whichever one you would like and prefer, that's good. So this is how people are making those t-shirts with the yarn. Again, this is the yarn that I used. It worked perfect. It's the perfect size really for that. And I'm using Designs by Juju's vintage script. I'll play around with this some more because I have a boy shirt that I need to do with this as well. So I'll be looking for some different fonts to do it with. But for this, it worked perfect. Any kind of bean stitch actually would work for this. And I think that's it. If you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to message me or write them in the comments, and I will try to answer what I can. Thanks so much. Y'all have a great day.